Hey builders, Brickfair up here with what will probably be my last convention haul, being everything I bought from Brickfair Virginia. We got some KTown, some Fallout stuff from Eclipsegrafx, of course some citizenbrick, and all the stuff that the convention actually gave me as well. Lots to go over. Let's check out the freebies from the convention. Kind of an assorted bunch of random stuff. We got some snot bricks that are in green, a bunch of those. In addition to that, we got a whole Lego education set here. So that's kind of an interesting piece to get, 100 random pieces. And I'm sure this is something that Lego gave to them to give out to all of the people with the week passes, but kind of unique. I didn't expect to have one of these in my collection, but there we go. Of course, getting to some of the more interesting items, we have my brick badge. This year's theme was yellow bricks with the blue parts to surround those. And this is a typical like magnet part, so pretty similar to the ones I have from Brickworld, but you know, for Brickfair. In addition to that, you also got to submit a picture to be printed on a 2x2 tile here, which was printed by Eclipsegrafx, UV printed, and of course I picked my YouTube profile picture there. So very unique piece to get, and I'll have that with my sig fig from now on, I guess. And if I go again, it would be fun to collect a bunch of these if they do it in the future. I think that is honestly a really cool thing to get. And this is the more unique item that they included in your sort of goodie bag. It has nice packaging here. Taking it out of the foam, wrapped in some tissue paper too. And it's this weird crystal sort of thing with the Brickfair logo on the inside. Kind of funny to get something like this instead of something that is more Lego themed, but it is very interesting. It makes for a cool coffee table object, I guess. In addition to this version of it, I also bought this little brick trophy for their logo too, which they call a Bricky. You're supposed to be able to pick out your name or some words. My name is Ethan. Somehow they didn't have an Ethan Brick, so I just picked Wizard and Lego Fan because I thought those would be kind of funny together. It's just the logo again. You can see right there. Fun to see that. And I think this is a cool little thing you could buy, and I'm glad I ended up getting it. The money, or I guess the profits, went to charity. So I'm glad to contribute to a charity again in some way. I always donate for Brickworld too. But that is all the convention specific items. Let's go to some customs. Just quick going over the KTown part, since I'm not going to review these in this video. I'll do a separate one just because I'm very excited about these ones being their brand new line of Monty Python, the Holy Grail minifigures. We got King Arthur, the Black Knight, and of course the Killer Rabbit with Holy Hand Grenade. Very excited about all of these. I was definitely waiting for them to go ahead and make these figures since it is very thematic for them, being medieval but also being pop culture. I think these turned out pretty well, seeing them in hand, and I will be looking forward to the review for these figures too. But I also picked up a couple of loose items from them, being a new torso and head for me in my collection, a vault suit, and we'll take a look at this with some accessories from Eclipse, who is joining the Fallout hype with a lot of other custom Lego companies with their Brick Warriors line, producing some new custom molded accessories like the Pip-Boy, as well as a couple of chems. You got the Stim Pack, you got Psycho, Med-X, and of course Jet. So very fun to see all of those accessories. And I got some prints too, being the clock and the radio, also from Fallout, and a tile for Mr. House. I also was given a couple of freebies here with their 2 different brick badges. So fun to get those, to add those to my custom Lego brick badge collection. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at all of these. Starting off, we have the new KTown torso, which is the armored vault suit sort of look from the game, where it has these straps going down, some pouches. Looks like there's a bit of ammo on the belt as well. Backside, you can see this is a 76 version. They had versions for, I believe, 33 as well as 101 or 111. But it's nice to see them thinking ahead of the games. Actually, maybe it was 13. I can't remember exactly, but obviously they got the 76 one because that's what I wanted. These straps just continue around there and have a very nice Lego aesthetic. In the hands, I have the KTown version of the Stim Pack on the right arm, or the left arm of the minifigure, right arm. Then on the other side, we have the brand new Brick Warriors version. You can see the scaling's a little bit different. This one is probably a little bit more accurate, but this one would be a little bit more simple and Lego-like. This one has the additional wires that go to the valve, and it actually has a pointier sort of needle at the end there. Both versions of these had silver as well as the darker silver version, and pretty similar, honestly, where they are both accurate to the game, so you can't really go wrong either way. Head on here is also newer for me, which has a monocle. I just thought this would be a fun head to use for some character from something, whether it is, Umbrella Academy or maybe just Teddy Roosevelt. I'll find a use for that. On the arm, we got the molded Brick Warriors Pip-Boy as well. The torso didn't have any arm printing. It sounds like they're going to be molding their own Pip-Boys eventually, KTown, I should say, and maybe even print them. So something to keep an eye out for. I know Brick Warriors 2 had printed versions of the Pip-Boys in their wedding Lucy minifigure, but I didn't pick that one up. I wasn't super interested in it. It has a good amount of detailing on the mold. You are able to move the arm all the way down across the torso. And it's looking like a very nice scale. The screen isn't huge, which would be kind of an issue if you're trying to paint it. And I know some people are really capable of those like really small surfaces, but that would be hard for me. Looking at the KTown torso, you can see it is slightly different than the Lucy one, which had the unzipped look. But the sort of design for the different tech parts and everything like that is pretty similar. Looks like this one doesn't have a zipper. This one does have a zipper. So slightly different designs there, I guess, in that regard. And some of the other side or back gold detailings aren't present in the same spots. Kind of in that waist area where the belt sort of is. Minor differences, but still pretty similar in the grand scheme of things. And of course for her, I have the Jet as well as the Psycho in her hand. You can see I have her holding it on that one side, which does have a bit of a thicker bar connection. She can still hold it from the other side. It's just a little bit looser, but again, great molds there where all the detailing that needs to be there is present. So that's kind of cool. And we had the one more accessory being the Med X, which again fits in the hand. You have to have it this specific like orientation in the hand, otherwise it's loose. And here's the size difference between the 3D printed input bricks looking Pip-Boy and the new Brick Warriors version. This one's huge. This one's a bit smaller, probably more accurate scaling wise, but at least this one gives you a little bit more screen to paint and work with. So positives and negatives there. Let's look at those last couple of accessories from Brick Warriors and Eclipse, which are just some nice UV printed parts to expand your Fallout world and decorate your mocks in different ways, which is why I picked up the clock as well as the radio. This would just be easy to toss into a scene. Picked up the Mr. House tile finally, because maybe I'll design a Securitron and do Yes Man or something along those lines. Thought it would be helpful to have one just in case I do that. Nothing on the back of either of these, but what I'm seeing are very game accurate models here. And I do like the use of a brick here instead of like a tile. I think this works very well and it'll be easy to throw into anything you do Fallout wise. And lastly, like I showed off, we got the badge bricks here for Brick Warriors as well as Eclipsegrafx on these 1x8 bricks. Nothing on the back. And these are fun designs. Glad I got them. Let's move on to citizenbrick. And of course, last but not least, we have our citizenbrick stuff. Some new misprinted figures and new figures overall. A bunch of loose parts. Some new stuff, some stuff I missed out at the headquarters, but glad to be able to pick up even more parts for Fig Barfs and all that. Let's go ahead and lay out all the parts. And of course, take a look at everything on the stand. Due to me already going to 2 other LEGO conventions with citizenbrick at them this year, picked up a little bit of a lighter load here. Very excited I got a bunch of neutral heads in different colors, which I didn't have already. The stud club sort of panel piece there. The hair pieces like I already kind of mentioned. So let's go ahead and toss these together onto some parts and take a look at these. Just start with the neutral faces that I picked up, since you've seen these before if you collect citizenbrick. This is basically their like first item that they did and common in all of their branding. Got a couple different colors here, a couple of transparent versions. The green one there is one of their female neutral faces, which I wanted just because I also have the trans green normal neutral face. So now I have one of both genders. I could do something fun with that. Transparent red one is a little bit harder to see since it is a darker transparent color, but fun to get a unique color like that. Same with the silver one, where that could be pretty useful. And it's just fun to get these for different fig bars and just have them. That is why I picked up every one that I did. Another set of loose parts. I got another Howdy torso in another color, along with their egg yolk anime character. I don't know the name, unfortunately. Threw on one of the new big hairs that I didn't have yet on there, which came in all the colors you saw earlier. Here's what a misprinted version of this head looks like. You can see that they didn't add the like extra round chin line, whatever you would want to call that, since it would be the wrong color on the different plastics. But that is to give you an idea of what the hair looks like as well. Love the Howdy torsos. Like I've said in the other videos where I bought them, I love that design. I think it's one of their best, and getting out of more colors is just like getting more sort of touristy vacation shirts. So that's why I love picking those up. One of the heads that I picked up was one of these luchador heads in normal size. I thought this was the one that would be closest to Nacho Libre. And that is why I was glad to get these red legs, because that'll be perfect for him too. Just got to find the right torso. But great combo of parts. All their luchador stuff is really fun. They got the back head printing as well. I don't think I have any other luchador heads, so this is the only one in my collection in the normal size, obviously. I got all the big ones from these figures, but lots of cool designs for those. Glad to have one in the smaller size. Another head I picked up was this one here from Jack in their Titanic set. Got a different one, since I also had this loose torso that I picked up from Brickworld a couple years ago, which was, I think, one of their gift with purchases for whatever amount of their products. You got this like frozen guy. Don't have the light blue underwear, unfortunately, but I do have the torso, so I guess I could just throw on a white hip and call it a day here. But very fun to get the head finally to go with this. It might be slightly updated from when it originally came out, but it is the same sort of idea. For accessories, I have a new version of the molded axe with that dark silver for the actual axe, and then a handle that is light bluish gray. So new combo there. I hadn't seen that before, so picked that up since that is a pretty accurate axe color. I also have this cane in, I believe, bright yellow. Is that what you would call that? But didn't have one of those yet, and I thought that'd be a fun piece to get since unique and very fun accessory. One more part, not a minifigure part though, and that would be this stud club panel that I don't have yet. That's why I picked it up this time. Stocks were running low on it. Just want to have something to represent this in my collection, so there we go. No printing on the other side, obviously, but what you see here is a nice paper bag with a neutral face on it. Very fun logo. Let's move on to the full figures. And for minifigures, a couple of familiar faces, obviously, with some misprints of normal minifigures that I already have, but some new faces to the collection. Excited to be able to pick up the rest of the minifigures that I missed from Brickworld. Take a look at those, show them off to you guys, and see if you want them in your collection. Again, tossing these on the stand. Let's take a look. To start with is one of the in-between figures I got. I bought this from somebody in between Brickworld and Brickfair, but was available at Brickworld originally. Just didn't pick one up because I forgot. But very fun cowboy design. Love the arms and the leg sort of frill printing. I feel like this design would be great in pink for Ryan Gosling from Barbie if you ended up getting that color combo. Bending the legs, you can see there's a little bit of extra printing towards where the hip is, so the design doesn't break up completely when you do that. You know, nothing on the side of the torso, which is fine. They usually don't print there. But the legs got some great sort of hip belt printing, it looks like. I like the combo of silver for like the bolo tie as well as the belt buckle itself. There's some extra seam lines in the middle of the hip. And I think this is a pretty good color combo, honestly, where the blue and the lighter blue sort of have a nice little bit of contrast, or also just the color kind of ties into itself. The head's not special or anything here. This was just probably tossed on here. Probably not the original head that came with it, but they had a whole bunch of different combos for heads and hairs and hats and all that. So I could always just throw on a different citizen brick head onto this torso to make it a little bit more unique, or just find a random cowboy hat to toss on too. But this is a very cool design for kind of this one-off convention sort of line of minifigures, and works great as a cowboy. They got the nice little stars in the different designs, and they did a good job on this one. Another new minifigure to the collection is this Misfit member. People have been calling him Danzig. He's got the skeleton torso, and that's really about the only unique thing about it. It has the shorter black legs. Get a microphone, which is an official Lego part. Did get some of these hairs from the Citizenbrick headquarters already, so I have showed those off. There's a unique head print, which is a bit more of an angry, cartoony expression. Perfect for some punk members. And, you know, that's really about it. Simple design. I think the white on the black looks great. Lego would have some black peeking through that white ink, so Citizenbrick is beating Lego in this minifigure for sure on the print quality. Like I said, not a lot to say. Great figure, and I did get a misprint of this guy too, which is a gold torso. The only thing that's going to be different, the face print exactly the same, still printed on flesh, which is too bad. I would love to see more of these misprint minifigures with different colored heads, but it seems like for these conventions, they only had the correct skin color for the heads, so it makes it a bit tougher to get those misprinted heads for some reason. They're just not giving those out as often. Torso is very fun though. You know, you could do a lot of fig bars with these, so I wanted to get at least one other color of it. One of the stranger figures I picked up was this leather type guy with a weird, ugly face. Didn't have any of these parts already, so that's why I kind of grabbed it. I thought this would work better for my Spinal Tap Derek Smalls, but the version from Lord Humongous is more accurate technically, since he does have the 5-strap sort of design. So that's unfortunate. I guess I didn't really have to pick this one up, but comes with the new molded squiggly arms. The black on the legs does have a little bit of extra printing when you bend it, but the silver looks nice on all the straps and the studs. I do really like this cap that they made too. I have a couple of those already from my tracksuit minifigures too, but it's a cool part. You could use it for just generic people, and the face on that head is very weird. Don't have one of those yet, so not an awful part to pick up. But don't really know what I'm going to do with this in my collection now. Maybe come up with a fig barf in some way. I guess this torso could be used for Juggernaut from the movies. But here's this, you know, a little bit weird, but it's always fun to see them kind of do this weird stuff. As a Minnesotan, this figure here is very exciting to me, being a misprinted print. I like the base figure a lot. I had originally picked up the normal design on eBay as sort of a fig barf, so I don't have the original legs, but I did end up buying the reprint. So it's good that they put more of these out. I think it's a great design and is a great sort of capture of pop culture with the Purple Rain look. For print, molded guitar is going to be the exact same as the base minifigure, where it is just white with the printing on it. Looks great, fits in the hand pretty well. So no issues there. No printing on the back of it, obviously, but ends up being pretty much the scale of every official Lego guitar. Same size as like the minifigure, basically. Hairpiece for prints is pretty good. You know, there might be some better options now. And maybe I'll toss this one on just to see what that looks like. But the face print is pretty good with the facial hair. I do really like that. You get a little bit of shadowing around the eyes, like I think already said in the review I've done. I picked gold because purple and gold are kind of complementary colors, and a lot of the printing on this is still purple, or like really dark purple. You can see with like the crease lines, the like little bit of floral pattern there, and the back too, like the sort of in between the jacket printing. The silver on the shoulder pad still looks pretty good on gold too. I just thought this would be kind of a more interesting look of a misprint, because I could have gotten like a dark pink, that probably would have been pretty similar as well. And with this hairpiece on, like I said, that doesn't look awful too, and honestly might look a little bit better since there's the extra detailing and texture, since I feel like he kind of had that more curly and poofy hair. So you could go ahead and buy a couple of these hair pieces off of Pickbrick if you wanted to, and that is the misprinted Prince minifigure. Another minifigure that was released at Brickworld, and they had more of them out at Brickfair, was the Wu-Tang Zombie. They had a couple different color options. I got the turquoise torso with these dark silver metallic sort of legs with the same Tupac design that I got on my other version. The only real difference for this is the hairpiece. Other than that, you know, it's the same printing, just on different colors of plastic like all their other misprints. But it is kind of nice to get more pant color options. I love the print for these legs. They look great. Honestly, the darker leg version looks very cool. And both color options I got for the torso are fun. Really like those. Like I said, it's just kind of fun to see them do a couple different hair options for these minifigures and make them slightly different. And I noticed on the back of the torso, the purple version has like an extra little bit of light gray or white. It's like a speck on the back there. So that's probably an error of some sort. really glad to have the purple one, and this turquoise one is going to fit that pretty well in the collection too. I'd say probably one of my favorite designs that they've done for the convention is this tracksuit look. I grabbed one of these from Brickworld, being this coral version, which is a fun color, and I had to grab a purple to go with it since that ends up being my color for the most part. The Adidas look on these is nice. You get some cool arms, some cool legs, the shoe printing that wraps around, nothing on the inside of the legs, and all of these had some different head options. I picked up this one since it was a unique and cool option in yellow. I feel like that could be pretty usable for some different characters. I wanted to throw it into like my generic modular Lego city with the yellow skin tone. And I got another one with a hat since I really enjoy the mold for that. I think that is just kind of the better option than like some random hairpiece, which is my mindset there. Very cool figure. The white looks good on the purple. Like I said, with Lego, when it's on these darker colors, their white kind of sucks. Citizenbrick always does a pretty good job of keeping it the right color. We got one more misprinted minifigure, and that would be the Huey Lewis enthusiast, or Patrick Bateman, here in purple, which I missed out on at Brickworld Indianapolis. I think I mentioned that in that video. Finally picked one up. I'm glad I did. The suit design on this base minifigure is amazing on the dark blue, and getting in other colors is just great for expanding your collection of suited characters. I do really like the sort of material used for the rain jacket, like I mentioned in that review. Very fitting for what it should be, being that like kind of plasticky raincoat. Axe comes in the standard color here, where it is that tan. That's what I was mentioning with the other version, with the darker silver and gray handle is different. It's a good look here. I'll just pop off the raincoat so you can see the rest of the printing too, which just continues the pinstripe design of the pants, and on the back, same sort of thing with the torso, where it just has the striping going along it. So nice to see the design being completely completed, even though it is covered by the jacket in a couple different places. Great detailing on this one, like I said in the original review. Very cool color misprint as well. Let's go to the comparisons and the final verdict. I usually say this in my convention videos. If you can make it to a Lego convention, I would definitely recommend it, just for Citizen Brick or just meeting other members of the community. Always a great time, and unfortunately it's where you can pick up the best custom Lego minifigures, since this ends up being kind of the only place to get some of these misprints. I do kind of enjoy that there is more incentive to go, since they are putting out more exclusives that you can really only find at the convention versus just stuff that's online. I'm not a huge fan of like straight misprints. I do like when they have characters where it's just a bunch of color options. Pick out the ones that you like though. So when it comes to tracksuits or some of these zombie characters, it is nice to get the different leg and like torso color combos. I think that makes it a lot more fun to collect. But when you get the right color for a character that you like, that is a benefit too for collecting. Like I said, even the Cowboys, like just getting a very cool minifigure design, lots of detailing, and some fun color parts is great for me, or even just some weird parts in a character combo. Really enjoy that. But overall, Brickfair, great experience for a first time going to that convention. I definitely say I prefer Brickworld Chicago for build quality, but Citizen Brick brought the heat like usual, and you're not going to miss out on any of the conventions they go to. If you want to see more convention hauls or custom Lego videos overall, check out all the videos on my channel. I have been Brick Radiop, and I will see you in the next video.